So hello students, hope you all are fine. Today we will be discussing the topic respiration in humans. Previously video we have discussed about respiration and types of respiration, that was aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. Those who have not watched that video, please do watch that video. And today we will be discussing about respiration in human beings. In humans, respiration starts from nose or mouth, and we humans, we breathe oxygen that is present in the atmosphere. Different organs are involved in respiration, and all these organs together, they are known as respiratory organs, or you can say respiratory system. So our first organ is nose, then comes pharynx, then trachea, lungs, bronchi, bronchioles, and alveoli. So we will be discussing all these organs one by one. So first is nose. Nose. So what? While breathing, we are taking in oxygen. So in from nose, from where the air is entering into our nose, from the opening that is known as nostrils. There are two openings na in our nose, the right side and nose side. So these two openings are known as nostrils, and in the nostrils there are fine thin air hairs. That, what is the importance of this hair? These hairs, they trap the dust particles or any foreign materials, and it doesn't allow, means it prevent it to enter our body. It doesn't allow that foreign materials to, along with air, to enter into our body. And the slimy substance that is present in our nose is known as mucus, which moistens the air. Okay, and the blood which is being circulated in our nose, what does it do? It warms up the air. So this air, only after being warmed up, only this air is passed through the nasal cavity. What is nasal cavity? It is a cavity through which air is passed from the nostril. Now the second organ is the trachea. What is trachea? Trachea is also known as windpipe. Students, understand this trachea portion properly, okay? So this trachea is also known as windpipe. First, when we are inhaling oxygen. So through nostril, air is passed through the nose. After passing through the nose, it will go to the pharynx. And after pharynx, this air will pass through the trachea, which is also known as the windpipe. And it acts like a sieve. Now what is sieve? In Hindi, sieve is known as छन्नी. वो बोलते हैं ना, लोग छानते हैं कोई भी चीज को, तो वो छन्नी की तरह काम करता है. This trachea, it acts like a sieve, means it will allow only the filter or fresh air to move further. Okay, so this trachea is acting like a sieve. Tracheas are guarded by glottis. There are guards which are present in the, there is a guard which is present in the trachea, it is known as glottis, and this glottis is covered by epiglottis, means the covering of the glottis is known as epiglottis. This epiglottis, it closes whenever we eat or we drink anything. So what is the work of this epiglottis? Means it is being closed. It closed when we eat or drink anything, because it is a common passage. You know, sometimes when we eat, when we talk so much while eating or we're drinking, we suddenly, it happens that we hiccup a lot. Or it is due to this only. By mistake, what happens if this food, it enters into the windpipe, then only we get this hiccup. So what happens to prevent this? Epiglottis is being closed whenever we eat or drink something. Tracheas. This trachea is divided into tube-like branches, and these branches are known as bronchi. Trachea was a single one. Okay, this trachea is divided into branches. trachea further it is divided into branches, and when it is divided into branches it is known as bronchi. But if we speak about a single branch, then it is known as bronchus. Together, when we speak about a bunch of branches, then we will call it as bronchi. But when we speak about a single branch, then it is known as bronchus. So after that, what happens? After air enters into the trachea and then bronchi, what happens? Now this inner layer of the bronchi has tiny hair-like structures. And these tiny hair-like structures which are present in the inner layer of the bronchi, these are known as cilia. This air, they show inward and outward movement. This shows outward and inward movements. Inward and outward movement of what? Inward and outward movement of air. So the bronchi are filled with a liquid, and it is known, this liquid is known as mucus, which enters into the lungs. Okay. So now next, now air has entered into the lungs. So we will study about lungs. Usually what, there is two types of lungs, there are two lungs in humans. One is right lung and one is left lung. So this is in case of animal also, not only human. Two lungs are there, that is one pair of lung is there, one is in the right side and one is in the left side. So one of these is known as left lung and the other is known as right lung. The two bronchi that we have studied about, this gets connected into the lungs. Trachea was there, then bronchi was there. The shape, if you imagine of trachea and bronchi, it will be like upside down or inverted Y shape. Why? If you will just invert it upside down, the what shape you will get? That shape is that single channel is the trachea, and when it is divided into two different channels or two different branches, that is the bronchi. So this bronchi is connected to both two bronchi. This two bronchi will be connected to the lungs. So the air that is passed through the trachea, now it has reached the lungs. So there are many compartments, many small compartments in our lungs, which are known as alveoli. And these alveoli, these have very thin walls. Okay, the alveoli's wall is very thin. So next topic is alveoli. Alveoli, these have tiny blood vessels. There are very small, minute blood vessels are present in the alveoli, and these blood vessels are known as pulmonary capillaries. Okay. So now this area, this pulmonary capillary area is the main area where exchange of gases takes place. That is exchange of oxygen with carbon dioxide. We are inhaling oxygen and we are giving out carbon dioxide. So this is the main area in the lungs where air gets exchanged. That is the exchange of gases takes place. Okay. In the lungs, in the alveoli region, in alveoli where in the pulmonary capillary region exchange of gases takes place. So if anyone asks you where does exchange of gases takes place, you can say the pulmonary capillary area, which is present in the alveoli in our lungs. So because of this change is taking place, gaseous exchange is taking place, a partial pressure is being created in the alveoli. Why? Because alveoli, which was a region of high concentration, and capillary, it is a region of low concentration. So gases is taking place, exchange of gases is taking place from higher concentration to lower concentration. That is why a pressure is being created. Now what happens? Now this oxygen which we are inhaling, this oxygen, it goes further into the tissues which is present in the body. So this what will happen then? After oxygen has reached to the tissues, carbon dioxide will come out from the tissue and it will go into the blood. It will come out from the tissue and it is going into the blood. So this tissue was a region of low concentration and blood is a region of high concentration. Now oxygen is coming from high concentration to low concentration, and carbon dioxide is going out from low concentration to high concentration, that is from tissue to the blood. So this is a reason why a partial pressure is being created, and this carbon dioxide which came out from the tissues and it passed to the, and it means it has gone to mixed with the blood, which is a reason of high concentration. Now this blood will go to the lungs where our air is being purified, and from lungs the air will be exhaled out through the nose. So once in the blood of the capillaries, when oxygen is mixing with the blood, okay, one pigment is there in our blood, that is hemoglobin. Hemoglobin is a pigment that is present in our blood. So when this oxygen it is combining with hemoglobin, it is forming oxyhemoglobin, which is present in our red blood cell, and this carries it to the tissues where it dissociates or where it enters the cell of the tissues. So likewise, oxygen directly it is not entering into the tissues, it is mixing with the blood, and this blood is going into the tissue. So when this oxygen is mixing with the pigment, that is the hemoglobin, it is forming oxyhemoglobin. Now this oxyhemoglobin is entered into the tissue. Okay, so the lungs, now what happens, lungs never fully deflate. Deflate means चपटा होना, ये पूरी तरह से चपटा नहीं होता है. Why? So this is the reason why. So air that is inhaled mixes with the residual air left from the previous respiration. Understand this line properly, student. Our lungs ये पूरी तरह से deflate नहीं रहता, means it is not never fully deflate, means पूरी तरह से ये खाली नहीं रहता है. Suppose for example I'm saying we are inhaling, I'm giving it as number 1, inhaling 1, exhaling 1, then inhaling 2, exhaling 2, then inhaling 3, exhaling 3. Likewise we are inhaling and exhaling spontaneously, it is going on. So now what happens when we are inhaling 3, okay, that time when we are inhaling, we are inhaling oxygen and giving carbon dioxide. When we are inhaling 3, so this and when we are exhaling 3, that time our lungs is not at all empty. The air which was present when we exhaled, when the air at the time when we were inhaling 2, the air was present there, that air will be mixed with inhalation 3. Okay, so it is, our lungs is never डिफ्लेटेड, ये पूरी तरह से कभी खाली नहीं रहता है. कुछ अमाउंट ऑफ एयर जो है वो बाकी रहता है हमारे लंग्स में, ताकि जब हम इनहेल करें, so that air will be mixed with the air which was previous respiration जब हम लोग किए थे, like inhalation 3 will mix with the inhalation 2. Okay, I hope you all have understood this thing. And when it will mix with the previous respiration, the fresh respiration, when it will mix with the previous respiration, it will result into a lower partial pressure of oxygen. Okay, so there will be a reason of lower partial pressure. Again, pressure will be created. Now, the next organ is our diaphragm. Diaphragm is what? It is a muscle which is separating the chest cavity from the abdominal cavity. ये एक तरह का partition है. It is separating the chest cavity from the abdominal cavity. It is a dome shape. Dome shape means it will be like this arc shape. Okay, it is arc shape, dome shape muscle, and it controls the process of respiration. How it controls the process of respiration? Understand. Suppose the drawing in of air, we are inhaling air, okay, and when we are inhaling, during inhalation what happens, this diaphragm shrinks, means ye shrink ho jata hai, it chota ho jata hai, you can say it shrinks, and when it shrinks, space will be created, there will be space. So what will happen if space will be created? Our chest will, that is our lungs will expand. So that is why when you will after watching this video, just sit quietly for a few minutes and you just observe your process of respiration. While you'll be observing, you will feel that your chest part, this chest part, shoulder, everything is just expanding. Okay, so this is due to the diaphragm which is present in our chest cavity. What happens, this diaphragm will shrink, and after shrinking, what will happen, there space will be created. When space will be created, what will happen, the chest will expand. So in inhalation, we see that our chest expand. So this process just opposite it takes place when we exhale. So when we exhale, what happened? This diaphragm will expand. When we will exhale means when we will give out carbon dioxide, this diaphragm will expand. So diaphragm expand. When it will expand, what will happen? There will be no space for the lungs. So our lungs, that is, it will contract. Our lungs will contract. So diaphragm and lungs, they go correspondence with each other, and you can say inverse with each other. When one is expanding, other is contracting. When one is contracting, other is expanding. Okay, so this act of expelling air from the lung is referred to as exhalation, which we're expelling out of the air. This is known as exhalation. Okay, students, so today we have studied about respiration in human, and we have discussed about the respiratory organs also of human, that is about the nose, about trachea or bronchi, about bronchioles, about alveoli, and about diaphragm. So I hope you all have understood this video very well. Each and every part of our respiratory organ you have understood well. So go through this video again. Wherever you don't understand, just pause and read and then understand properly. That's why I'm providing the content also to you. I'm sharing the content also to you in this video, so that you can pause the video, you can read, and you can understand and again and again. So I hope student you are being benefited through this video. And if you're being benefited, if you like the video, please do subscribe my channel so that you can get the notification and you can see the video whenever you want. And students, take care and be safe. Bye bye.